strange things that happen when your spiritual awakening ends. The spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love. Marianne Williamson. Have you ever wondered what happens after your spiritual awakening? What if the real transformation begins after the awakening ends? In today's video on spiritual wisdom, we'll uncover the surprising and often unspoken shifts that occur once you've stepped through that sacred door. These strange experiences aren't setbacks. They're signs that you're evolving into your highest self. As you listen, consider how these insights reflect your own journey. Are you noticing the stillness, the inner clarity, or the unexpected shifts in your life? Comment below. My awakening is still unfolding if you resonate with this path. And don't forget to like and share your thoughts. Let's grow together, spiritually and soulfully. 1. Awakening is just the beginning, not the end. They say, the end of the road is only the start of another journey. And nowhere is this truer than in the realm of spiritual awakening. Most people assume that once you awaken spiritually, all the confusion, pain, and struggle vanish. But that's a beautiful illusion. The real truth? Awakening is not the final destination. It's the initiation. It's like being handed the blueprint to a life you thought you understood, only to realize you've been building on sand. The strange thing is, once your spiritual awakening ends, your real life begins. Not the life built on routines, expectations, and old habits, but a life that asks you to live with your eyes open, your heart exposed, and your truth unfiltered. At first, you might feel lost again, thinking something's wrong, because the bliss you felt during the initial awakening seems to fade. But this is not regression, it's grounding. It's the divine invitation to apply your new awareness in a world that often resists truth and depth. You start to see people differently. Conversations feel shallow. The old ambitions no longer inspire you the way they used to. And this shift can feel like an emotional come down. But what's really happening is that you're integrating. You're learning to walk again this time, with spiritual clarity guiding your steps instead of ego. The world doesn't change to meet your awakening. You change to meet the world. And that change doesn't always feel graceful. You may find yourself shedding relationships that once defined your identity. You'll notice that some friends avoid you now, not because you've become arrogant, but because your spiritual energy mirrors the truth they aren't ready to face. Your silence speaks louder than their noise. You no longer need to prove your worth or explain your choices. As the spiritual awakening ends, a deeper spiritual maturity begins. It's no longer about seeking signs or chasing mystical highs. It's about embodying the wisdom you've gained in every moment, every interaction. It's about showing up when it's uncomfortable, loving when it's easier to shut down, and standing firm in your values when compromise would be more convenient. This stage will test you in ways that awakening never did. It is not about escaping the world, but about serving the world in a different way. With awareness, you realize that growth is not glamorous. It is chaotic. It is about late-night doubts, early morning discipline, and learning to be soft in a world that rewards toughness. It is paying attention to the still voice within when the world is screaming outside. For every man who walks this path, understand that the strange feelings you experience after a spiritual awakening are not a sign of failure, but a sign of deep connection. They are proof that you are no longer pretending to be peaceful just to make people feel good. The journey after awakening is where power is built, not on a stage or a podium, but in the quiet choices made when no one is watching. That is the true spiritual path. So if you're going through this right now, take heart. You're not lost. You're rooted. And in this new soil, something greater is growing. Spiritual resilience, emotional depth, and an unshakable understanding that your life has a divine purpose, even when you feel alienated. Keep going. You're exactly where you need to be. Let us know in the comments below that I keep going. 2. The world quiets down and feels oddly calm. After the whirlwind of spiritual awakening, the signs, synchronicities, and emotional intensity, you may find yourself in a space that feels eerily quiet. The world, once full of symbols and spiritual messages at every turn, now softens into a strange stillness. And at first, this can feel like something is wrong. Where did all the magic go? Has the universe gone silent on you? But let me tell you, this quiet is not a void. It's a sacred pause. It's the moment after the storm, the gentle hush where everything within you begins to settle. Just like how after a powerful thunderstorm, the air feels thick with peace and the world feels reborn. This calm is a reflection of your inner integration. It means your soul is catching up to everything it has absorbed. Spirituality is not always loud. Sometimes, its greatest growth happens in stillness. In fact, the quiet is a clear sign that you are now aligned with a deeper rhythm, one that no longer needs flashing signs or constant spiritual highs to prove its presence. Let me share something real with you. A woman I once met had spent nearly 3 years in a state of intense spiritual awakening. She journaled messages from her dreams, felt energy shifts in every room, and saw meaning in everything. License plates, songs, random conversations. And then one day, it all stopped. No more signs. No more intense dreams. At first, she panicked. She thought she had fallen off her path. But as she slowed down and embraced the quiet, something beautiful happened. She began to live. She became present in her daily routines. She watered her plants with joy, cooked meals with intention, and found peace in the ordinary. That's when she realized spirituality isn't about always feeling high or magical. It's about being real, being present, and living in alignment with your spirit even when the world is silent. So, I want to ask you, what does stillness feel like for you? Are you able to sit with silence without feeling the urge to fill it? Or are you still chasing the fireworks of awakening, thinking that's the only way growth happens? The truth is, real spiritual growth doesn't need to shout to be heard. Sometimes, it whispers in the way you breathe deeper, smile softer, and make peace with not knowing all the answers. The end of the awakening phase is not the end of your journey. It's the start of your embodiment. You're no longer chasing spiritual experiences. You are the experience. Here's the lesson. When the signs fade and the world quiets down, don't mistake it for disconnection. That calm is confirmation. That stillness is your spirit saying, you're exactly where you need to be. Let that be your comfort. Let it teach you to trust your inner compass over external signs. Because true spirituality is not just about the awakening, it's about how you live once you've awakened. And if you feel inspired by this message, type, "I trust the process," as a way to affirm your strength, patience, and commitment to growth. Let's grow together. 3. Physical and emotional changes continue. Even after your spiritual awakening ends, the journey doesn't just stop, it transforms. Many people believe that once the initial awakening is over, everything should settle into a perfect state of peace. But that's rarely the case. In fact, one of the strange but very real things that happens is that your body continues to change physically and emotionally long after your spirit has already evolved. Your spirit has already aligned with a higher frequency, but your physical body, your nervous system, your organs, even your muscles are still catching up. That's why you might find yourself feeling full of energy and inspiration one moment, only to suddenly crash into deep fatigue the next. It's not a sign that something's wrong. It's your system recalibrating. Can you feel those subtle shifts in your body and mind, even when everything around you seems still? This adjustment period can feel like a roller coaster. You might suddenly crave different foods, develop aversions to others, or even find that your old sleep patterns no longer serve you. One day, you might sleep for 10 hours straight, and the next, you're wide awake at 4 in the morning with a flood of thoughts that feel divinely inspired. This is your body learning to exist in harmony with the spiritual downloads your soul has received. As spiritual wisdom teaches us, the body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, 1 Corinthians 6:19. And just like a temple, it must be cleansed, restructured, and purified to house a new level of light. Have you ever noticed how your emotions return not as old wounds, but as echoes reminding you of lessons already learned? These emotional waves are not setbacks, they are confirmations. God is refining you, peeling back the final layers that can no longer coexist with the level of consciousness you now carry. You're not regressing, you're integrating. Your tears are sacred, your tiredness is sacred, your silence is sacred. Even in the mundane moments, when you're washing dishes or driving to work, your transformation is happening in the background. This phase isn't as dramatic as the awakening itself, but it's equally important. It's like the silence after a powerful sermon, holy, heavy, and filled with unseen work. So I ask you this: are you allowing yourself the grace to rest during this part of your spiritual evolution? Or are you still expecting yourself to operate like nothing has changed? Remember what Rumi said: try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. The more you trust in God's timing and surrender to the wisdom of your inner process, the more your spirit and body will come into harmony. This phase teaches you that the journey of spiritual wisdom doesn't end when the awakening fades, it deepens. And in that depth, God shows you that growth is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it looks like stillness. But in that stillness, the true work is being done. Let this be your reminder that healing doesn't end with awakening. It continues as a sacred partnership between spirit, mind, and body. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 4. Disconnection from people and familiar places. You ever wonder why, after a deep spiritual awakening, you suddenly feel like you don't belong where you once did? That strange feeling of distance from friends, family, or even places that once felt like home isn't a coincidence. It's a divine shift. When your spiritual awakening reaches a new level, something powerful happens beneath the surface. Your energy changes, and your vibration rises. What once resonated with your former self no longer aligns with your new spiritual frequency. As a result, you may feel disconnected from people you deeply cared about, and even the places that once brought you comfort may now feel foreign. But this isn't rejection, it's redirection. It's not about losing love, it's about outgrowing the old in order to make room for what is truly aligned with your soul's path. As the Bible reminds us in Ecclesiastes 3, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. This season of isolation is not meant to harm you. It's sacred preparation. Just like pruning makes room for stronger growth, disconnection makes room for deeper connection, this time with people and environments that reflect the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. In today's world, where constant connectivity and digital validation can deceive us into thinking we're thriving, pulling away may feel wrong, but in truth, it's deeply spiritual. You are evolving beyond surface-level bonds into something richer, more soulful. So if you're feeling the sting of separation, know that it's actually a sign of spiritual maturity. The universe is clearing your space so that only those who match your spiritual energy can enter. In this silence, you're not alone. You're being reintroduced to yourself. Trust that this disconnection is actually reconnection on a higher level. This is one of the most sacred and misunderstood stages after a spiritual awakening. So take a deep breath, release the guilt, and let the space be filled with peace. Your soul knows exactly where it's headed. Keep walking forward. Share your story, or simply type, "I am growing," if you're committed to using every moment to improve yourself. Let's keep this conversation going. I can't wait to hear your insights. 5. Signs, magic, and synchronicities fade. When you're deep in your spiritual awakening, everything can feel magical numbers repeating on the clock, songs that speak directly to your heart, dreams that feel like messages, and synchronicities that make you feel like the universe is speaking just to you. But then, without warning, it all goes quiet. The signs stop, the magic fades, the synchronicities slow down, and in that silence, you may start to panic, wondering if you've lost your connection to spirituality, if you've somehow fallen off the path. But I want you to hear this clearly. This isn't the end of your spiritual journey. It's a sign of spiritual growth. You haven't lost your way. You've simply matured beyond needing constant validation. As spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle once said, "The moment you realize you are not present, you are present." That awareness is power. In the beginning, we crave external signs because we're unsure, we're learning to trust, we're still building our inner compass. But as you grow, the training wheels come off. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first, your parents are holding the seat, guiding you, cheering you on. But eventually, they let go, not because they abandoned you, but because they knew you could ride on your own. The same is true in your spiritual walk. That silence you're experiencing, it's not absence, it's God trusting your steps. It's the universe stepping back, allowing you to apply what you've learned. And here's where real life kicks in. Just like a person who no longer checks the GPS every 5 minutes because they've memorized the route, you've internalized the guidance. You are the path now. So instead of yearning for spiritual heights, embrace the depths of silence. Let it teach you to trust your intuition and move forward without needing anyone to tell you that you are on the right path. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I still need signs if I already know the truth in my soul? That is a powerful question only you can answer, but it can reveal where you still have doubts. Here is a story for you. A man saw feathers everywhere after his father died, and he took it as a sign that his father was still with him. Years later, when the feathers stopped appearing, he felt lost. But over time, he realized that his father's love was never in the feathers, but in him. The signs were just a tool, not the truth. The truth always lived inside him. So if your spiritual signs have faded, don't be afraid. Celebrate it. You are moving from searching to embodying. That is true spiritual growth. The lesson is, growth doesn't always feel like magic. Sometimes it feels like silence. But silence is sacred. And in that silence, your greatest spiritual power is being built. You are not alone. You are just becoming whole. Trust it. Keep going. If this message resonates with you, comment below. I trust this journey completely. 6. A new purpose emerges. After a spiritual awakening, something subtle yet powerful begins to unfold, and a new purpose emerges. One that's less about chasing something outside of you and more about becoming what you were always meant to be. You're no longer just seeking truth. You are the truth in motion. You start to realize that spiritual wisdom isn't about accumulating knowledge or trying to look enlightened. It's about showing up in your everyday life with presence, integrity, and love. You embody your highest self, not by effort, but by alignment. The striving ends, and a quiet yet powerful beingness takes its place. This shift can be both liberating and confusing, especially if you are used to constant spiritual work or inner searching. Now, the path calls for you to walk it not as a seeker, but as a teacher by example. And here's the key. You serve others naturally, not because you have to, but because your cup is overflowing. As the famous mystic Rumi said, "You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life?" That quote speaks to the moment you stop crawling after awakening and begin to rise, not out of pride, but out of purpose. But here's something people rarely talk about. This phase is often quiet. There are no big revelations, no loud confirmations. You might even feel less magical than before. Why is that? Because your soul is no longer trying to convince you of its worth. It's now living it. And in this quiet comes the real test. Can you trust the unfolding when it no longer feels new? Can you keep showing up in love when no one is watching or clapping? This is where the rubber meets the road, where spiritual wisdom matures into true spiritual living. You might notice you're drawn to simpler things, serving someone without needing recognition, listening more than speaking, or choosing peace over proving your point. That's not regression, it's transformation. You see, the end of awakening isn't the end at all. It's the integration, the embodiment. It's when your spiritual journey becomes your daily life, not something you visit on a retreat or during meditation. And the beauty of it is that people around you will feel your light without you needing to say a word. That's the real power, when your presence becomes the message. So let me ask you, what parts of your life are now calling for you to be instead of do? In what ways can you show up fully, not because you're trying to fix yourself, but because you've remembered who you are? In the end, the lesson is clear. Spiritual wisdom isn't about always feeling high. It's about being rooted enough to serve, shine, and live from the truth you've already found. Your new purpose doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives quietly, like a sunrise, asking only that you rise with it. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights, and let's continue this conversation. 7. Heightened sensitivity to energy and surroundings. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt something was off before anyone even spoke a word? That's not a coincidence. It's a reflection of a deeper spiritual truth that many people overlook. After a spiritual awakening ends, one of the most profound and often misunderstood changes is a sudden, heightened sensitivity to the energy around you. As men, especially in the age range of 30 to 65, we're taught to be rational, logical, and tough. But what happens when your inner world becomes more responsive than ever before? When your emotional radar sharpens, your environment begins to speak to you in ways it never did before. You feel the tension behind a fake smile. You sense the heaviness in a room even before the meeting begins. You notice subtle shifts in people's tone, posture, and energy that others completely miss. This isn't a weakness. This is spiritual strength. It is the awakening of a new layer of consciousness in what many ancient traditions refer to as the seer's sense. The thing is, this new layer of perception isn't always easy to handle. It can be overwhelming, especially if you don't yet know how to protect your spiritual energy. As your sensitivity heightens, you're not just picking up on people's emotions, you're absorbing them. The frustration of a coworker, the sadness of a stranger, or the chaotic energy of a crowded space can feel like a burden if you don't establish clear, energetic boundaries. This is where modern life demands more spiritual discipline than ever before. Just as you wouldn't let just anyone into your home, you can't allow every frequency into your inner being. You have to discern what's yours and what belongs to others. Developing these boundaries isn't about isolation, it's about preservation. There's a story in martial arts that says the master doesn't fear the warrior who has practiced 1,000 moves once, but the one who has practiced one move 1,000 times. In spiritual awakening, your one move is learning how to ground yourself. Whether through daily silence, prayer, breath work, nature, or journaling, find what centers you and make it your daily non-negotiable. Think of it as spiritual hygiene. Just like you wouldn't go a day without brushing your teeth, you can't afford to neglect your inner balance when your energy field is this open. And don't make the mistake of thinking this is only about you. As you become more energetically aware, you're also being positioned to be a source of calm in chaotic spaces. Your sensitivity allows you to navigate life with intuition, compassion, and power. You become the man who notices when someone's struggling before they say it. You become the leader who reads between the lines. But you must manage it with spiritual maturity, because if you don't, your gift can feel like a curse. The late Wayne Dyer once said, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." That's exactly what's happening now. The end of your spiritual awakening isn't a return to who you were. It's the beginning of a wiser, more energetically tuned version of yourself. So the next time you feel the room shift, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this mine or someone else's? That one question can save you from carrying weight that was never yours to hold. In a world that praises busyness and noise, your ability to sense the unseen is your secret weapon. Use it wisely, protect it fiercely, and nurture it daily. Because this spiritual awakening isn't just about what you see, it's about what you feel and how you use that wisdom to lead yourself and others through the noise of life. If this message speaks to you, take it a step further and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Together, we can build connections rooted in honesty and respect. As we've explored today on spiritual wisdom, the end of a spiritual awakening isn't really an ending at all. It's the beginning of a deeper, more grounded journey. From sudden calmness to unexpected emotional shifts, these strange experiences are signs that you're stepping into your true spiritual maturity. Embrace the quiet, trust the process, and allow your transformation to unfold naturally. What unusual things have you noticed after your awakening? Share your experience in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. And if this message spoke to your soul, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay connected for more powerful insights. Once you master quantum entanglement, your subconscious unlocks your hidden energy. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Albert Einstein. This powerful truth holds the key to unlocking a deeper understanding of yourself and the universe. In today's video on spiritual wisdom, we'll dive into the mind-blowing concept of quantum entanglement and how mastering it can awaken your subconscious power and activate your hidden energy. Imagine living each day with a heightened sense of awareness, connection, and inner strength because it's possible. Have you ever felt a mysterious bond with someone or something beyond logic? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to embrace the energy that's been waiting within you all along. Let's awaken together. 1. Quantum entanglement proves everything is connected. At the center of this mysterious unity lies a phenomenon known as quantum entanglement, a truth so profound it reshapes how we see ourselves, our minds, and the hidden potential resting quietly in our subconscious. Quantum entanglement shows us that once two particles become linked, no matter how far apart they drift, a change in one instantly reflects in the other. This instantaneous connection is not limited to the microscopic realm. It mirrors something much greater, a universal intelligence that underlies all things. Your thoughts, your feelings, your deepest beliefs, they all radiate energy into this invisible field. Every emotion you experience becomes a signal sent into the very fabric of reality. And here's the revelation. This sacred field responds. Your inner world, often overlooked or misunderstood, is the true engine behind your outer experiences. What you hold in your subconscious, your beliefs, your wounds, your desires, shapes the frequency you emit. And because everything is connected, that frequency doesn't just stay inside you. It moves, it touches, it entangles. It calls for matching vibrations in people, events, and opportunities. In other words, your life isn't happening to you, it's happening through you. When ancient sages taught as within, so without, they weren't speaking in metaphor. They were describing the mechanics of reality. Your subconscious mind, that vast reservoir of thoughts and memories beneath the surface, holds the key to unlocking your hidden energy. Unlike the conscious mind, which filters and doubts, the subconscious listens to symbols, to emotion, to repeated intention. It's here that real transformation begins. When you plant new beliefs rooted in love, purpose, and spiritual clarity, you begin to reshape the signal you're sending into the quantum field. And the field listens. The field responds. Reality bends. Energy doesn't lie. Think of it like a spider's silk stretching across continents. One gentle vibration sends a ripple felt on the other side of the world. That's how your presence affects the whole. That's why your prayers reach people you haven't seen in years. That's why your intuition whispers truth before the facts arrive. You are always connected, and you always have been. To unlock your hidden energy, you must start within. You must become aware of what you've been unconsciously creating. You must observe the patterns you've inherited, the doubts, the fears, the old stories, and gently bring them to light. Awareness is the beginning of change. It is the spiritual key that opens the door between the subconscious mind and the limitless field of creation. When you align your inner world with elevated energy, gratitude, compassion, certainty, you begin to tune into a new frequency. You are no longer reacting to life. You are co-creating it. And with every moment of clarity, with every intention rooted in truth, your subconscious begins to awaken. It remembers its connection to all that is. It remembers that it is not separate, not broken, not powerless, but whole. Quantum entanglement is not just a scientific marvel. It is a divine invitation, a reminder that you are a sacred thread in the universal web. Your energy matters. Your presence matters. And once you understand this, truly understand it, everything begins to shift. Are you ready to align with the deeper connections of the universe? If so, comment below. I am connected, to affirm your awareness of this powerful truth. 2. Your subconscious mind emits and receives vibrations. Your life is not just shaped by the decisions you make consciously. In fact, most of it flows from the part of you that often goes unnoticed in your subconscious mind. This hidden realm beneath your awareness is not silent or passive. It's alive, active, and deeply influential. It acts as a powerful energetic antenna, constantly sending out and receiving vibrations. And what it transmits doesn't just affect how you feel, it shapes the very fabric of your reality. From the time you were a child, your subconscious began absorbing information. It recorded experiences, emotional reactions, patterns from your caregivers, societal expectations, and even subtle energy from the environments you moved through. These imprints form the lens through which you now view the world. And here's what's even more astonishing. Your subconscious governs up to 95% of your daily behavior. That means only a tiny 5% of your decisions and actions are made consciously. Unless you intentionally reprogram this inner operating system, it will keep projecting the same frequencies, drawing in people, experiences, and emotions that match its old beliefs, even if those beliefs are outdated or limiting. This is where the power of quantum entanglement comes in. In the world of quantum physics, entanglement refers to the mysterious phenomenon where two particles become linked in such a way that no matter how far apart they are in space or time, a change in one instantly affects the other. This isn't just a scientific curiosity, it's a deep spiritual truth. We are all energetically entangled with the universe. Every thought, every emotion, every belief we hold vibrates into the quantum field and connects us to similar frequencies. That's how we attract what we live, not by chance, but by resonance. When you begin to understand this, everything changes. You realize you are not separate from the world around you. You are in constant dialogue with it, through your energy. And the language it speaks? Vibration. Your subconscious mind, programmed as it is, becomes the translator between your inner world and the outer world. If your subconscious is filled with fear, scarcity, or self-doubt, it will continue to tune into realities that reflect those patterns. But when you consciously begin the work of spiritual awakening, when you illuminate those hidden beliefs and replace them with love, power, and clarity, your frequency rises. And with it, your life transforms. Spiritual awakening is not about escaping the body or transcending the world. It's about returning to the truth of who you are. It's about awakening the dormant power within you and reclaiming your role as a conscious creator. The more you align your subconscious with universal truth, the more your external world begins to mirror your inner transformation. Opportunities begin to flow, synchronicities increase, and life starts feeling more like a dance than a struggle. This isn't wishful thinking, it's spiritual science. You are made of energy. You are entangled with the universe, and your subconscious holds the keys to your hidden potential. When you heal it, when you align it, when you infuse it with love and truth, you become unstoppable. So, what's the message here? Simple. If you want to change your life, you must first change your frequency. And that begins by mastering your subconscious and embracing the quantum connection you share with all of life. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are awakening. And everything you need is already within you, just waiting to be unlocked. Comment below. I align with powerful vibrations. If you're ready to reprogram your subconscious and attract the energy you truly desire. 3. Thoughts and emotions shape reality through vibration. Every thought you have, every emotion you embody, carries a vibration. And that vibration communicates directly with the quantum field that surrounds you. Quantum physics has revealed a truth that spiritual traditions have known for centuries. Everything is energy, and all energy is connected. One of the most powerful discoveries in modern science is quantum entanglement. The idea that particles can become so deeply linked that even when separated by great distances, they continue to influence each other instantly. Now, take that concept and apply it to your consciousness. Your thoughts and emotions are like those entangled particles. The moment you feel something strongly, whether it's fear, love, anger, or gratitude, you are sending out a vibrational signal that interacts with the universe in real time. Your subconscious mind acts as a transmitter and receiver of these vibrations. It's constantly broadcasting your energetic state into the quantum field, attracting experiences that resonate with your dominant frequency. When you live in a state of stress, fear, or resentment, you unconsciously align with low-frequency energies, and you attract people, events, and circumstances that match that energy. But when you choose to shift into higher emotional states, love, gratitude, peace, abundance, you begin to resonate with a different part of the quantum field, one that responds to you with opportunities, healing, and synchronicities. Albert Einstein once said, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it." Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. This isn't just scientific wisdom, it's a spiritual law. When you consciously choose your emotional states, when you become aware of your thoughts and intentionally redirect them, you begin to reprogram your subconscious and align with a higher spiritual frequency. This is when your hidden energy awakens. This is when the magic begins. The truth is, your energy speaks louder than your words. It tells the universe what you believe, what you fear, and what you desire. So ask yourself, what frequency are you living on? Are you nurturing your soul with love and vision? Or are you trapped in a loop of limiting beliefs and emotional noise? The moment you decide to raise your vibration, your entire life begins to shift. You don't have to force change. You become the change. Reality starts to mirror your inner transformation. It's not about pretending to be happy all the time. It's about being spiritually awake. It's about realizing that every emotion is a message and every thought is a seed. You are not a passive observer in this life. You are a powerful co-creator. The more conscious you become of your inner energy, the more aligned your outer world becomes. You start to experience life as if it's flowing with you, not against you. As the poet Rumi said, "What you seek is seeking you." When your energy aligns with your desires, the universe responds in ways that seem miraculous. This is the deeper meaning of quantum entanglement in the spiritual realm. A reminder that you are intimately connected to all things, and your vibration is your voice in the sacred language of the universe. So today, be mindful of what you're feeling. Be intentional about what you're thinking. Choose love over fear. Choose faith over doubt. Choose to rise. Because once you master the spiritual nature of energy and understand the power of your subconscious, you don't just unlock hidden potential. You unlock a whole new reality. If you believe your thoughts and emotions can shape your reality, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your insights in the comments below. Let's align our vibrations and attract a life of love, gratitude, and abundance together. 4. Reprogramming the subconscious unlocks hidden power. Have you ever wondered why, despite your best efforts, certain goals seem to slip through your fingers like water? You work hard, stay disciplined, focus on success, yet something quietly, almost invisibly, keeps pulling you back. It's as if there's another force inside you, one you can't quite name, silently shaping your reality. That force is your subconscious mind. And when it holds beliefs that contradict your desires, no amount of action or willpower can override it. But here's the life-altering truth. Once you reprogram your subconscious through spiritual principles and understand how it connects to the fabric of the universe through quantum entanglement, you awaken a power within you that has been dormant all along. The real battle, you see, isn't outside of you. It's not with circumstances, luck, or even timing. It's the quiet conflict between what your conscious mind wants and what your subconscious believes. You may affirm, "I want wealth," but if your subconscious believes you're unworthy or that money is evil, then those thoughts emit a conflicting vibration into the universe. It's like driving with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. You move, but painfully slowly and with friction at every turn. Spiritually, this creates a misalignment with divine flow, blocking the life of abundance and purpose that was meant for you. Quantum entanglement reveals something astonishing. Everything in the universe is connected. When two particles become entangled, a change in one instantly influences the other, regardless of the distance between them. Likewise, your internal state, your thoughts, emotions, and energy send signals into the quantum field, rippling through space and time to create outcomes that reflect your inner world. You are not a separate observer of life. You are a co-creator, deeply entangled with the energy of the universe itself. But when your subconscious is filled with fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs, the signals you emit become distorted. Life reflects chaos. However, when your subconscious is aligned with truth, love, and divine confidence, your reality transforms to match it. This is not mystical fantasy, it's spiritual science. And reprogramming your subconscious is how you begin to shift everything. But how do you do that? The tools are timeless, yet profoundly effective. Meditation, for instance, allows you to quiet the mind and drop into theta brainwave states, the gateway to the subconscious. In this sacred stillness, your soul speaks, and your inner reality begins to rewire itself. Visualization, when practiced daily with emotion, acts as a rehearsal for the life you desire. The subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and vividly imagined experiences. When you see, feel, and live your goals internally, you attract them externally. Likewise, affirmations, when repeated with sincerity, begin to rewrite the silent scripts that have shaped your life story. You stop thinking like the man you were and start becoming the man you're meant to be. Then there are energy-based tools like emotional freedom technique, EFT, and neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, which work by dissolving emotional blocks stored in the body and reconditioning the patterns that keep you stuck. These are more than techniques. They're spiritual recalibrations that clear your energetic field and open you up to divine intelligence. Every time you shift your internal state, you shift what you're entangled with in the quantum field. The change is subtle, then sudden. You begin to notice synchronicities, ease, and flow. Life no longer feels like a struggle. It becomes a dance with the divine. You must understand, you are not just flesh and blood. You are a spiritual being encoded with divine potential, here not merely to survive, but to awaken. The energy you seek outside is already within you. It's waiting for you to remember who you really are. And the moment you begin to reprogram your subconscious and spiritually align with higher truth, everything changes. You stop chasing and begin attracting. You stop forcing and start flowing. You move from lack to abundance, from confusion to clarity, from fear to power. And when you choose to align your inner world with divine truth, the outer world cannot help but respond. This is the path of the awakened man. This is the path of spiritual wisdom. Reprogram your mind, trust the energy, and unlock the hidden force that's been waiting for you all along. If you're ready to unlock your hidden power, repeat after me. I am reprogramming my subconscious. My mind is aligned with my highest desires. I am open and ready to receive all that is meant for me. 5. The universe tests your new vibration. When you begin to elevate your vibration, when you intentionally shift your inner frequency towards spiritual growth, something fascinating begins to happen. The universe doesn't immediately reward you with glittering signs or instant breakthroughs. Instead, it tests you. These tests are not punishments or setbacks. At the heart of this transformation lies a spiritual truth rooted in quantum entanglement, the idea that everything in the universe is interconnected. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and even your subconscious patterns are entangled with your reality. Nothing is random. The outer world is always reflecting the inner world. So when you begin to change internally, when your subconscious starts to accept a higher level of worth, peace, or love, the universe responds, but not with applause. First, it responds with a test. And here's where most people misunderstand the process. When things begin to go wrong, when old habits return, familiar triggers arise, or situations become more challenging, you may be tempted to think, I must be doing something wrong. But the truth is, those moments are evidence that you are doing something right. The old version of you is being invited to fall away. The energy that once shaped your reality is collapsing, and the universe is watching to see if you will default to your old vibration or rise to claim the new one. As Albert Einstein famously said, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. So the problems you face after a spiritual shift aren't meant to defeat you. They're meant to elevate your consciousness even further. They are the universe's way of asking, are you sure this is who you are now? And every time you respond with clarity, peace, love, or faith, you confirm that your new vibration is not just an idea, it is your identity. This is where the subconscious plays a powerful role. Your subconscious mind is the storehouse of hidden energy. It holds every memory, every emotional imprint, and every programmed belief you've ever absorbed. When your conscious intention aligns with a new frequency, your subconscious begins to unlock. And what it reveals can be both beautiful and intense buried emotions, forgotten dreams, and untapped potential all rise to the surface. But don't be afraid of what shows up. This is how transformation happens. The spiritual path isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about standing strong in the face of it. As the poet Rumi wrote, try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. Every test you face is shaping you, stretching you, strengthening your ability to hold more light, more truth, more spiritual power. So if you're on this journey right now, if you're feeling the intensity of spiritual change, know this: the universe isn't trying to break you. It's refining you. You're becoming someone who can carry a higher frequency with grace. You're stepping into alignment with the truth of who you are. And every choice you make from this elevated state sends ripples through the quantum field, drawing in new experiences, people, and opportunities that resonate with your soul. Stay loyal to your growth. Anchor your new vibration in your words, your choices, your habits, your energy. You're not just thinking new thoughts, you're living a new truth. The more consistently you show up in that truth, the more your subconscious unlocks the powerful, limitless energy that has always been within you. This is the essence of spiritual awakening. This is the dance between your vibration and the universe. And once you truly master this, everything begins to change, not just around you, but within you. If this message resonated with your spirit, leave a comment of alignment. I trust the universe is guiding me through every test. My vibration is rising, and my new reality is unfolding. 6. Emotion plus belief equals manifestation. In the vast, invisible dance of energy that shapes our universe, one truth remains unshakable. Emotion plus belief equals manifestation. While many speak their desires aloud, the universe doesn't respond to words. It listens to vibration. It tunes into the frequency of your emotions, your subconscious patterns, your deepest beliefs, not what you claim you want, but what you genuinely feel to be real. If you say, I desire abundance, yet feel unworthy, fearful, or doubtful. The energy you emit contradicts your desire, and the universe responds accordingly. The energy of lack attracts more lack. But when you feel abundance, peace, and wholeness before the evidence arrives, you become a living signal to the quantum field, calling in exactly what you seek. This is not just philosophy, it's quantum reality. At the heart of this truth lies the principle of quantum entanglement, a proven scientific phenomenon that reveals something astonishing. Everything in this universe is connected energetically and spiritually. Two particles, once connected, remain bonded across any distance, instantly reacting to each other's changes. If something as small as subatomic particles can remain energetically linked, what does that say about the power of human thought, intention, and emotion? It tells us that we are not isolated beings. We are entangled in a divine web of consciousness, a living matrix of possibility. When you begin to align your subconscious mind with your true desires, something extraordinary happens. You start unlocking your hidden energy, the deep spiritual force within you that is often dormant, waiting for recognition. This isn't some external power granted to a chosen few. It's already within you, encoded in your very being, patiently waiting for you to awaken. The key lies in feeling, not in logic. The subconscious communicates through emotion, imagination, repetition, and belief. Once you train it to believe that what you want is already yours, your outer reality begins to shift in harmony. As the mystical poet Rumi once said, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." This beautiful truth reminds us that your inner world is not separate from the greater universe. You are a spiritual being, energetically connected to all things. Every thought you nurture, every emotion you embrace, sends ripples through the quantum field, influencing matter, opportunity, and outcomes. To manifest your dreams, you must first feel them as already real. Visualize your success. Feel the joy of the outcome. Embody the energy of abundance, love, health, or peace, even if it hasn't shown up yet in the physical world. Because in the quantum universe, time is not linear. What you desire already exists in potential, waiting for you to match its frequency. Neville Goddard taught, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." This is more than a mental exercise. It is spiritual alignment. It is activating the divine co-creator within you. By choosing belief over doubt, joy over fear, and love over lack, you become a conscious participant in the unfolding of your destiny. Now, close your eyes, take a deep breath, calm your mind, and feel the reality of your desires as if they're already here. Align your emotions with your vision. Repeat with me, "I am one with my desires. I feel it, I believe it, and I now receive it. It is already done." 7. Surrender and certainty complete the process. There comes a point on every spiritual path where effort alone is no longer enough. You've studied the laws of the universe. You've practiced setting intentions. You've done the visualizations and repeated the affirmations. You've aligned your thoughts, spoken your desires, and worked on your inner beliefs. But even after all of that, something still feels stuck. Something isn't flowing. That's because the final, most powerful key isn't about doing more. It's about letting go. And that's where your real power begins. Surrender and certainty are not just spiritual concepts. They are energetic states of being that shift everything. When you finally release the need to control the outcome, when you stop trying to force the how, and when you open up a direct pathway for the universe to deliver what you've asked for. And more importantly, what you're already connected to. This is the essence of quantum entanglement. It's not just a theory reserved for physicists. It's a truth about the nature of reality. Everything is connected beyond time, beyond space, beyond logic. The moment you focus on a desire with clarity and emotional certainty, a link is formed between you and that outcome. That link exists even before the evidence shows up in your physical world. But to allow that connection to fully activate, you must trust it. You must get out of your own way. When you hold on too tightly, when you obsess over details, when you question whether it's working, that's the energy of fear, lack, and doubt. And that energy blocks the flow. But when you surrender not out of defeat, but from a deep knowing, your energy becomes open, magnetic, and receptive. You're no longer asking from a place of emptiness. You're vibrating from a place of fullness. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting so completely in the intelligence of the universe that you no longer feel the need to chase. You're no longer desperate for signs because you already feel the truth of your manifestation deep in your being. That's what certainty is. It's not just thinking positive thoughts. It's embodying a frequency that says, it's already done. And that frequency changes everything. The subconscious mind responds not to what you say, but to what you believe. When you align your belief with certainty, your subconscious begins to operate from that truth. It starts sending out signals, attracting circumstances, guiding you toward the very thing you've already claimed on an energetic level. That's how your hidden energy awakens. That's when manifestation becomes effortless, not because you stopped caring, but because you finally trusted. Spiritual awakening is the moment you realize you were never separate from the reality you were seeking. It was never outside of you. It was always a part of you, waiting for your permission to emerge. And that permission is given through surrender and certainty. So if you've been trying and pushing and waiting, take a deep breath. Soften your grip. Let go of the outcome. Feel the peace that comes from trusting the unseen. Know that the quantum field is responding to your energy, not your effort. Know that your desire has already been heard, and more importantly, it's already been answered. When you live in that truth, when you stop striving and start believing, your life transforms. You become a living magnet for joy, abundance, and purpose. You unlock the energy that was buried beneath fear and doubt, and you step fully into the flow of creation. This is where your power lives. In surrender, in certainty, in the awakening of your soul. To affirm your trust in the universe and your readiness to release control, declare it now. Comment below, I surrender with certainty, to align your energy and inspire others to fully embrace the flow of divine manifestation. And remember, what we've shared today is just the beginning. There's so much more to uncover about the power of quantum entanglement and how it can awaken the hidden energy within your subconscious. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom, and make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos that dive even deeper into the mysteries of the universe and the limitless power within you. Until next time, stay aligned, stay awakened.